Hey guys, and welcome back to another What If. Today we're doing part 7 to What If female Naruto thought the Fox's chakra was his. If you just want to know what happened in the last part, then I'll be linking in the description down below, or you can watch this one all the way through until the end of it, rather than the somewhat on the top left hand corner on your screen when the end screen cards appear will be the playlist link, which will take you to the exact same playlist like the link in the description down below. And one more thing is that if I do manage to get this somewhat what if, or this part to somewhat the pretty much 2.5 year time skip, or at least the somewhat part in Naruto where it pretty much somewhat kind of began, where Dry would simply disappear for a month or that. Like from there I would take I'm going to take some time off from this, as even if you get to 50 views and 3 people commenting for the next part, so I'm just going to take a break from this, as of course the next part would be like part 8 would then be well, not necessarily actual Shippuden era, but the pretty much time skip. So yeah, that's all I want to say. And also pretty much Wednesday for you that want, for you guys that want the somewhat what if Naruto was, part 2 to what if Naruto was a succubus, that will be out Wednesday. And if that gets to the same, if it gets more, or the same, or if it gets higher than 50 views and more than 50 views and 3 somewhat comments at that viewership level, more viewers, less comments, all the way down to only one person needing to ask if it's about like 100 or 200 views. Anyway, that will be out Wednesday, and of course part 3, if it meets the things, will be out Friday then. Anyway, with that rant out of the way, let's actually get into this. So Naruto would sort of arrive at the sort of arena, or outside of it. Don't really know what else to call it except for an arena, more stadium, an arena or a stadium, either one. And it'd look around and he'd see, well, she actually, but he'd be kind of hiding his feminine features and voice. So he'd be kind of looking around, and he'd of course see everyone except for Sasuke and kind of Kakashi, as the other teams, and that maybe talking with their senseis or that, some kind of one last you've kind of got it, good luck, and maybe a bit of kind of quite hush strategy on what you're going to do if you face this person, so on, something like that. And yeah, he'd somewhat look down, as he'd kind of been somewhat at least hoping that his sensei would be there, and yeah, sure, because after all, he knew somewhat he was a girl and that, and well, yeah. So he'd feel somewhat a weight on his head, he'd somewhat blink, and he'd somewhat hear, what's got you, but it seems to somewhat have got you down, Naruto would blink, and it's been on to Sensei, you're actually here. Kakashi would somewhat nod, and he'd somewhat go, of course, though, and yeah. And so you'd see, of course, Naruto seemingly sort of light up, and he'd go, so you thought I wasn't going to arrive? Which would kind of somewhat nod, while you kind of had, and still somewhat do have a habit of coming late. Which is somewhat chuckle and kind of rub the back of his head. Go, true, though somewhat he'd kind of somewhat look, somewhat over, and slightly hint, kind of, somewhat gesture slightly to Sasuke. And it's like that one kind of quietly somewhat wanted to, have a flashy entrance and all, but, I'd rather someone to come and see your performance and that, and yeah. So it should go so not done would feel sort of happy, that you seemingly, didn't. Actually came somewhat on time, early even. And yeah, a few seconds later, and the proctor would someone come out, telling them to that if they're all ready to sort of stand up in line, and of course, somewhat they would. And from there, they would somewhat, of course, walk in. And once they'd stop, the proctor would turn around and would somewhat tell them to somewhat have one kind of quick look at on the matches, to which, of course, Shikamaru would notice that he was only fighting once and not twice this time. And yeah, though, besides on that change, of course, rituals, can change that. Well, yeah, from there, he would somewhat turn around and he'd start the fight. Oh, well, not the fight. He'd, sort of get everyone's attention, and yeah, of course, somewhat after speaking for a few seconds on that, he'd, turn around and state the first sort of matches, and we'd tell them, at least the ones that aren't, going to be, participating in this one, the competitors to go up to the competitors box or that. Of course, somewhat they would, though, Sasuke would simply tell Naruto to simply somewhat not lose to it. Naruto would just go, well, I don't plan on losing, Sasuke. And yeah, to which Sasuke would just simply somewhat grunt back and would leave. And yeah, of course, somewhat from there, though, of course, Neji, or at least somewhat once, as the proctor would see them, the sort the participants, start, entering the actual sort of box, he'd go to sort of start the fight, though Neji, of course, would end up cutting that short, or at least cutting that off, and would start kind of ranting sort of a bit, and Naruto would kind of get somewhat annoyed, and yeah, to somewhat the point where I'd somewhat just go, Neji, do you mind just for a few seconds to shut up and let the proctor start this damn match? Neji would send him a glare, though, would kind of quiet down. After, the somewhat proctor would give Naruto a slight nod and somewhat thanks, and would start the fight. From there, Neji would immediately start speaking again, and Naruto would just somewhat, just somewhat just like, trying to, get into a mind wind her up and that, and well, that, that would be an incredibly bad thing, because wind her up too much, she could lose control of this chakra, and with that constantly running through her, nine tails on the loose, with, neither being in control, and well, yeah, not great. But Ayo, he doesn't know that, and the only person that does is, what's his name? I forgot his name now. Jiraiya. And yeah, so, not having enough, and of course, somewhat, and votes aren't just like that, if he's going to keep speaking, so be it. We just grab Kuna and just, someone chuck it at him fast enough that it would kind of skim and would narrowly miss. So it's, slicing into his cheek, he'd start saying, Claire. And would somewhat even ask, what was that for, to which Naruto and somewhat others would kind of just sweat drop like, you're meant to be fighting. And yeah, it's somewhat just to kind of stare at him, just somewhat, and we just kind of just somewhat mentally just shake her head, and folks were just somewhat, just somewhat kind of comments, somewhat, is he stupid or something? Doesn't he know this is a match, not a bloody talk fight? And yeah. No, something that would someone actually know we're meant to be fighting, right? Not, I don't know, going on a random rant about something, whatever yours is somewhat on about. Because Neji would somewhat send Glad, I somewhat ask Glad, and would just go, fine, and someone, it's my fate to win and all again, and someone just Twitch is somewhat eyebrow though, you just charging this time and would somewhat just go though, and then you would just narrowly somewhat dodge. Which was somewhat good because he would have been sent flying back into the wall. Yeah, and of course from there he dodged somewhat for a bit up until he'd kind of realised that, he was like, Hugo, they stood their ground and, yeah. So he'd, somewhat decided he's like, trying to, fight back now to jump back and would then start from kunai to keep him at a distance, and after a while, he'd kind of somewhat, he'd seemingly, go to somewhat do rotation, and as he'd do so, now to somewhat look at it and would somewhat wonder momentarily if it was maybe possible, but would shake off, to which the folks would go, well, somewhat, it's possibly, it's possible if, as long as you somewhat let my chakra out around your fist, you may be able to do what you was thinking. Go, huh? Really? Maybe, I do not know, but at the very least you won't really get all that hurt. You won't really get hurt at all as long as you wrap my chakra somewhat loosely around your fist. So he'd nod and he'd sort of thank the fox and would throw some kunai again, getting him and Shogun to get him to do rotation again, and as Neji, would predictably, Neji Naruto would somewhat come running, Neji would just somewhat scoff seeing it and would somewhat just, kind of, that's, your fist won't, some of your fist won't do nothing. And, yeah. And so, well, somewhat, so, and, yeah, no one would somewhat really see it, and at somewhat that moment, kind of, or at least somewhat tried, or at least somewhat, yeah, somewhat, though, they would, somewhat tried to go, so do you really think that's going to somewhat work, Naruto? To which somewhat Kakashi would just blink, and some others would somewhat blink, and they'd turn somewhat around, and Kakashi would go, Lord Jiraiya. They'd go, somewhat, hi there, Kakashi. Hope I wasn't somewhat disturbing you. And he'd somewhat just shake his head, just, yeah. So the others would just be, dumbfounded, whilst Kakashi was more slightly somewhat calm, just a bit surprised that, Jiraiya was there of all things. Yeah, so the others would be kind of, taken completely back, like, what, kind of just, sort of, how are you there, and, yeah. Especially, sort of the, of course, sort of, Ten, to somewhat speak and go, what is somewhat, this would go to somewhat, what, do you mean by somewhat, or at least somewhat, well, yeah, would somewhat go, so somewhat you're written for Naruto, well, he's going to need, all these sort of routine, he's sort of going to get as in there, and Naji's only going to somewhat beat him, and though, sort he'd go, do you even know sort of who I am, and she'd somewhat kind of shake her somewhat head, but she was a Konrichi. Not many people knew who Dry was, or at least in the younger generation, after all. Yeah. She'd go, well, I'm Dry of the Signing. She'd heard, and she'd go, what? And, yes, I did teach Naruto for the month, to which Kunai would start Kakashi and go, what are you meant to, it's like, when you've got two other somewhat teammates, both that don't have a clan, you are going to somewhat delegate, and yeah. Plus, somewhat, your one, somewhat the one that passed for you had a clan, was a part of a actual function, or it was, from a clan. So it was Sasuke's clan is dead, thus, and so thus it pretty much make him not this sole survivor of his clan, as technically his clan just no longer exists. It's just a last name. And yeah, a clan will only somewhat exist once the members get above, well, somewhat either equal to or above 5. And yeah, will be somewhat when the Chi clan will be recognised as alive and active again, otherwise it is dead. So yeah, as I said, somewhat, you're somewhat, so you probably didn't even somewhat train them, so you pretty much did the exact same thing. So you'd go to try and argue about, but nothing would come, and of course, Asma, really wouldn't say anything, as, that's what, he'd somewhat let, or at least, he'd had Shikamaru, train with his clan, he didn't bother, trying to train him or that for the sort of month after all. He's from a clan, the clan was mainly meant to do that, not him, in a way. And yeah. Anyway, so, well, yeah, though they'd try and get back, of course, to somewhat similarly see, or, well, no, they would, of course, be paying their somewhat attention, so they'd see, or at least Kakashi would just see, somewhat Neji a few somewhat centimeters away from crashing into the wall as he would. And yeah, I saw it back with Naruto, sort as Dry seemingly appeared and started talking to them. Sort she did do what the Nine-Tails had sort of told her to wrap a chakra sort of round her fist, somewhat lightly, so that it wouldn't actually appear and give her fist a reddish, somewhat tint or aura. And yeah, and she just wholeheartedly just slammed the fist, chakra enhanced fist, into the, well, Neji doing the rotation, and of course, chakra acting against chakra, but that chakra being tailed beast chakra would just create, a massive, somewhat, in a way, I guess, like repulsion. Is that, well, someone would believe how, it's good against, chakra, somewhat, but, attacks, it somewhat can, redirect them. So with the chakra around, fist and on whacking it, it'd pretty much shatter, it'd pretty much, in a way, shatter it, as all the chakra would be blown backwards, so pretty much shattering the dome. And due to just the recoil and that, he'd be shot backwards and would hit the ground a few times before slamming into the somewhat, well, not so, well, yeah, somewhat slamming into the, somewhat the wall of the arena. And yeah, of course, he'd push himself somewhat out, though he'd spell a bit of blood, and he'd let us groan, though he'd somewhat glare, at him, and yeah, everyone else would be, somewhat shocked, and that at just what she'd done, he'd done, and yeah. And of course, somewhat from there, he'd go to try, somewhat charge. Well, he'd go to charge again to try and, hit her again. Or at least to try and, do the HI Ram 64 palms, but every time you try and hit her, she was dodging it, she was pretty much at Jones' speed. She was somewhat faster than him due to just her control over the Fox's chakra and all. So she would be faster somewhat than him, and was able to very much dodge him. And yeah, though afterwards she would punch more, somewhat would slam a fist into him, and he'd be shot back this time, not hitting the ground, but completely shot back into the wall, and he'd leave a much deeper crater and would somewhat kind of fall out, coughing up blood, though he'd get up and he'd somewhat get up slightly sway, bit of a sort of sway, as he'd kind of glare, though the point would kind of come over when he'd seen Neji just got shoot across the field like a missile. And yeah, though Naruto had got his talent to kind of give up, more so kind due to, somewhat, if, continuing would probably, kill him, or that, and, yeah, though Neji sort of just goffened to kind of somewhat state, that he was, going to win no matter somewhat what, and she just sighed, let her somewhat kind of sigh, fine, have it your way then, and she'd just vanish. She'd somewhat vanish, she'd just disappear so fast that she didn't. She somewhat shot so fast that she left a after image for a split second. Though, of course, an after image is more or less your brain's ability to process the information coming from your eyes. So, an after image is really just your reaction time. How fast do you react at a moving target? Yeah, so pretty much the faster person, so the faster you, in theory, the faster your reaction time, the faster the person must go to cause an after image in your eyes, in your mind. So, yeah. And so, somewhat, for, of course, like Naji, so, of course, the civilians would have just, seen an after and just, kind of there and slowly, seemingly, somewhat fade and then just kind of seemingly, pop out of existence once afterwards, seemingly reappear somewhat. As mind kind of, somewhat picks up and kind of, ends up seeing, two and kind of realizes that, one's massively out of date and, yeah. Anyway, and, yeah. So, yeah, and she'd just appear behind him and would just whack him out the base of the neck, knocking him out. Because, from there, the partner would come over and say, he run by knockout, and he'd sort of go up, and from there, of course, he'd call down the next two fights, which would be Sasuke Uchiha and, Gaara. And they would sort of come down and, well, yeah, they would start to sort of fight, but that's the thing is that Sasuke wouldn't have access to the Chidori. Why? Because Kakashi would have never taught it to him this time around. Mainly somewhat kind of believing that Naruto would be able to, somewhat defeat Gaara, and that, there was somewhat no need to kind of teach, Sasuke it, and that it wasn't really going to help, Sasuke really at all. Oh, and something else I kind of forgot to mention, but during the somewhat fight, Neji would somewhat kind of have an outburst about, the someone, being born, kind of, something, I've, seal on his head, and all that, revealing that, and, well, that would somewhat kind of chuckle slightly and would go, you don't think I know? You don't think I know? Kind of somewhat just getting, some kind of just, pissed, Everyone always believed, it's like they seemingly suffer more and that, and so she knew, there were people that suffered truly more than she has with having the fox and becoming a girl and all that. And the treatment from the villagers, sort of, she knew that. She absolutely knew. But Neji's fucking life wasn't as hard as hers. Neji had, has a clan. She does it, she's all fucking alone with the fox inside of her. Yeah. With, nobody to teach her jutsus and anything like that, and, massive fucking reserves that, she has to, train to control and all that. It was just, yeah. So, she'd somewhat kind of just, somewhat, I don't know, just, left by, well, yeah. Don't quite remember something his outfit or her outfit. Something. I think it's like a jacket and then the top. Some jumper. yeah, yeah, anyway, something they would, show some of the, seal and stuff and go that's the fucking that's the fucking thing that's keeping this village from being destroyed. That is what's holding back the Nine Tails. Oh, he'd go Tompy's, he'd sort of got right out. But really, you'd fucking think that from the academy that teaches you that you can't destroy chakra, that the fox was destroyed or killed by the fourth Kage. Can only seal away chakra. So yeah, I fucking know a lot more than you do, Neji. So stop fucking whining. And yeah. So yeah, though that would be nearer to something at the end or that. And yeah, so the so the entire sort of a generation and that would now know, and yeah, they would sort of be kind of shocked. Of course, Sasuke would, of course, somewhat, have jealousy, that she had, the power of the Nine Tails the same inside of her, and, of course, when the Black would, call him down, yeah, well, yeah. At least, as they'd sort of walk past the Foxwood, he mentioned that he seems jealous, and, Richard, well, at least would go, of course he would, it'd, seem like other people, some other people, would just see her as a weapon, that's what he just sees. And yeah. And even if somewhat they were to see just somewhat be like that, of course the massive, issue of controlling the chakra and the chakra itself and all that. The somewhat negative stuff that you have to get used to first to be able to truly use it, and yeah. And obviously it's too much of a sort of hassle in a way. You could really just improve and grow your own chakra, and yeah. And though the fox could somewhat understand why Naruto was going with it, and yeah. Sasuke's fight would, sure Kakashi taught him some, lightning jutsus, but somewhat, and Gaara would somewhat keep him alive simply because, he'd remembered from trying, to kill Lee that, Pim stepped in, and they probably would with him, plus, something the Orochimaru kind of wanted him, though something he could, of course, kill, and his main goal was Naruto. So, yeah, even though something though it would end up just crippling Sasuke, well, not quite crippling him, but definitely somewhat kind of breaking his. Well, at least at first he'd think about breaking his arms, then he'd decide to just break his leg instead, and of course he'd still get up one good leg. He'd break that, and yeah. And of course, somewhat having both legs broken, Proctor would, of course, somewhat step in as Gaara was going to go somewhat for his hands. The Proctor would step in and would call the fight. Of course, Sasuke would be pissed, and he'd state that, he could still fight with his and yeah, they sort of weren't having it, and sort of missing not missing in the Mednin would come out, and Sasuke would still be somewhat upset, kind of that, he could still, sort of fight, and that to a point where they just would kind of put him under, genjutsu, and put him genjutsu where sort of make them sleep, just to get some peace from him, so they can, take him to the infirmary and actually re-heal that, somewhat heal some of his legs. And yeah, of course, from that, the other fights would go similar to canon. And yeah, Richard, of course, then somewhat to mean after Shikamaru somewhat to fight with Tamari, there'd be somewhat like 15 or so minute break, and after that, once they'd come back, so or the plot would end up calling down, or at least would state that there'd been a slight orientate, or at least change in the somewhat fight, and if Tamari and I can't remember something it is Shino, some Shino, some Shino Abure, someone to come down. And yeah, of course, should win. He relies on his bugs, and if he can't get his bugs on her without being, using a fan, that he would end up forfeiting, and of course, stating that, he couldn't get his bugs on her, plus, he was just going to end up either losing or having, well, not really losing his hive, but having them potentially, somewhat kind of just doing massive amount of damage and killing them, and that did rather not, experience, sort of have, a massive chunk of them die for just to, be promoted to tuning. And yeah. And she'd be a lot less annoyed. Sure, she'd be a bit annoyed, but not as annoyed as she was with Shikamaru, as Shikamaru just, somewhat just seemingly quick because, his laziness and that, and it was Naruto just like in canon who got him down there. So, yeah. And of course, after that, the proctor would, of course, yeah. So, yeah, after that, the proctor, of course, would call the match, as well as I was going to say. And, yeah, so from that, and so as, of course, she, somewhat walked back, she'd somewhat, well, at least I should make it, to some of these stairs too, and would start going up to the fire sparks. She'd somewhat realized, or at least so much, she'd kind of hoped that Naruto won. She didn't know why. Maybe, but she'd, try and figure out why she wanted the opponent to win. Why did she want Naruto to win? Maybe Gaara losing would allow her to try, to be an actual sister to him, or maybe it was just the fear of facing her brother, and that she'd rather face someone who wasn't exactly, who had, control, or at least clearly, control over his, tailed beast. And who seemed, well, of course, massively more stable than Gaara. Maybe that was kind of why. And yeah, she couldn't quite understand why. She just kind of wanted to simply have Naruto win. And yeah, of course, it was deep down mainly sort of Gaara, and that if Gaara lost, maybe it would bring the old Gaara, the kind of Gaara she somewhat once knew, back to her. So, and yeah. And yeah, of course, somewhat, and as they'd walk by, they wouldn't say nothing but it. And yeah. Yeah, she'd somewhat, of course, come out, and yeah, once they'd sort of arrive, the proctor would sort of look at one another, and you'd simply just sort of start the fight. And well, of course, somewhat from there, once they'd both arrive, the proctor would look at one another, would ask if they were ready, to which both of them would somewhat nod, and the proctor would then sort of start, and secondly, somewhat said that he got his ass out of there. Yeah, after all, you don't be standing, it was one thing, to stand in between, or at least, beside, to getting in, potential, tuning, and it's another to stand between two Tenshoki, especially one that's unstable, and one that is an unknown kind of control-wise with their tailed beast, so want to get your ass out of that as fast as fucking possible. So yeah, and well, nothing could happen. They would just kind of stand there staring, and and of course, Naruto was more than and was somewhat tense up, ready with chakra, somewhat lowering more towards the legs to get her out of the freaking way of sound blasting at her, but nothing would come except for a why. and kind of loud enough for everyone to hear, she'd be confused and would go, "Why? What? Did he want to talk out? Could she get into his mind and maybe dig him out of thinking the fucking One-Tails was his mother of all things? Yeah. Well, why do you fight for them? Why are you so strong? Why do you fight for them?" Yeah. Someone would look at him. Why? I ask myself that a load of times, why I fight for them, for the civilians, but the reason why I fight for my team is somewhat I have some, the reason why I'm extremely strong is because I have people I want to protect. As a person once said to me, "You're only truly strong when you have someone to protect, when you have a precious person." And I have my precious people that live in this village, and thus I fight for them. I'm strong because of them. I get stronger to protect them and the rest of the village. And yeah, after all, living just for seemingly revenge or just to simply confirm your own existence is lonely, soulless even, in a way. And you truly, in a way, in my eyes, you don't necessarily live, you just go day by day, just dragging it on. And yeah, you'd somewhat kind of simply just like look down, go, "I have no precious people." You know? So it should go, "But you do. You'd look up." I don't, but you do look at the, fighter's box, which is somewhat weird. So there's only somewhat and now to somewhat finish it, cutting him off, your sister. She cares about you, Gara. You may not see it, but she does. She cares about you. And yeah. She worries about you. I don't know about your brother, but she truly does care about you, Gara. And she's worried about you. She may not show it right now, but she is worried about you and cares a lot about you. She's just kind of scared that you'd kill her due to showing that she cares for you. And yeah, it somewhat she does kind of just shot, and I need somewhat kind of clutch his head as, One-Tails, Shikaku, would be yelling, for, to kill, someone kill him now. And yeah, so he'd, do his best to sort of ignore it. And he just didn't know what to say. But I killed my mother when I was born. Sorry, Gara, but being born doesn't really exactly work that way. And you can, well, the only way to die after giving birth is by complications, and the only way, from what my sensei kind of told me, that taught me for a month, was that, or at least when you store inside your mother, they sealed the One-Tails inside of you, to which you'd nod, knowing that. And you'd go, "Yes, so, well, I don't know if you know this, and you probably don't, but once a tailed beast is taken out of that, once a tailed beast is ripped out of that Jinchuriki, they die. So what does that matter about my..." She became a Jinchuriki, Gara. It may have been sealed inside of you, but the chakra had to flow through her to get to you. And that's such. The second you were born, the second they cut that umbilical cord, she was dead. Or dying. And only the people that. And if you want to be angry at the people that ordered it, that did the sealing. They could have just waited until you was born and you would have had a mother and a father, but yeah. You'd somewhat kind of look up and, he'd been somewhat kind of lied to. He didn't know why, but he just couldn't help it. Kind of listen, he was a Ballot and Cherokee, and someone who, had, all rights to kind of, hit him at the moment, and yeah, and as it, somewhat kind of thinking, kind of glare, somewhat, of course, Naruto trying to, here, come on, where's the fight, somewhat double, kind of, standard, yeah, Naruto somewhat finally have enough and turn around and go, well, you're just shut up. Or do you want me to just release them like the Nine Tails and let it all have you for damn lunch? Do you? No, will you just shut the hell up? Yeah, they would all quickly shut up and yeah, they couldn't really say sort of anything and some scenarios that would kind of tense up. Yeah, though you can actually slightly would, but though somewhat though I forgot his name. I can't remember his name now. Dry, somewhat written it, or he didn't need to read something new, and he could tell whatever they were talking about, it was important to Gara, it was impactful. Heck, he could sense the chakra from Gara, the telepathy chakra from Gara was altering, it was becoming less potent within Gara, it was like he was fighting back almost. And if so, then, well, damn. Yeah. Gara would somewhat kind of, and yeah, though those would say, though Naruto would say, though, that person up there, though, Gara, isn't your dad. As much as you may want to believe it is, it isn't. But he looks exactly, well, I don't know what your dad looked like, but if he's the so-called fourth Kage, then he isn't. Not unless somewhat the fourth Kage is Orochimaru, your father. But that person up there is Orochimaru, and I can smell it. He's just snakes are coming off of him. It smells like he is a snake, and I'd expect to kind of probably smell it in desert, whatever that would smell like, or whatever, something else. I don't know, but definitely not snakes and blood and snakes. And yeah, Gara would somewhat kind of, and then he'd go, then he must be dead already. As Gara would state that his father had somewhat been a bit different for a while now, and she'd somewhat nod. And yeah, though she'd somewhat walk up to Gara, somewhat look at it, he'd be a bit, tense and slightly, though as he's about to walk back, she'd hold out her hand and go, I know we're meant to be fighting at the moment, but just before we do, somewhat, we Cherokee kind of need to stick to somewhat together, so how about it, friends? You'd go wide-eyed and go, you'd want me, you'd go, of course. As I said, we Chichoki need to stick together. And plus, I'd be your first friend, something, Gara. And it really, you'd ask, and I'm the one asking you now. And yeah, you'd take someone to her hand and would sort of shake it, and yeah, those who'd sort of kind of lean in and she'd go, oh, and also Gara, I'm actually a girl. And yeah, Gara would be somewhat surprised, though. She'd somewhat her finger to her lips. She'd go, only my sensei, and somewhat the one that taught me for a month, somewhat knows that I'm a girl. Nobody else does, so for now, it's somewhat of a little secret. Okay, you'd somewhat just nod, and yeah, and she'd go. Though those should some back off a bit, though. Ready to finally start, fighting and give them, rough, rough while, Jinjoku, fight. Yeah, Gara would with a somewhat kind of slight nod, but yeah, with a slight smile on his face, he'd nod, and of course, and yeah, of course, all the way back at the competitor's box, of course, not, damn it, wrong person. Tamari, would see that slight smile on her brother's face, and it wasn't one that found it wasn't a smile that always filled her with dread, but it was one that reassured her that a very small part of her, that her brother, baby brother, the one she lost when her dad ordered their cousin somewhat to kill him, to assassinate him, to somewhat since somewhat that, and yeah, was that why they were awful so long? Did Naruto manage to bring her brother back? If so, then she'd be thankful, and yeah. And somewhat with that, of course, they would start, because fighting Gara would, sort of use the, sort of sand in that, and yeah, Naruto would, of course, be dodging it, and occasionally, sort of using sort of strength with, yeah. So, amplified with the Fox chakra to pretty much blow the somewhat sand away, not all that far, just pretty much far enough to either stop it or, to give it a bit of time to get out from its path, and that would somewhat happen, and yeah, even though Gara would somewhat occasionally, have to hold his hand, or his head, not his hand, his head by his hand, with the sort of one tails kind of yelling at him, to kill her and that. And yeah, he just didn't want to, and yeah, he wasn't going to kill his friend, and yeah, he just wanted it to just shut up. And yeah, as they would somewhat, fight after, a while, of course, Jamal would see somewhat enough, and yeah, he'd somewhat give the signal. And yeah, if others would somewhat fall, and fall somewhat long, well, Naruto and Gara would, end up stop fighting, and would kind of, and, well, yeah, as Naruto could feel, obviously, somewhat, well, not necessarily feel, but could somewhat see out of a corner of her eye, people simply falling asleep. And yeah, of course, Gara would, have a better view at it, and would, well, yeah. And yeah, of course, somewhat a few seconds later, somewhat, Gara Sensei somewhat would appear, and back you would, and would go, so, and of course, Kankra and what's the name again? Why am I forgetting the name now? Tamari. Would someone kind of arrive though, Tamari would be a bit slightly uneasy. And yeah, as though Garo just wrapped those like before, seemingly could do anything that looked like they could, kind of seemingly interfere. Garo just have his, somewhat Baki wrapped up in sand and would simply somewhat have Baki kind of just turned around to face simply the somewhat box, Naruto. And yeah, as smoke would just be billowing out of it and would just go back and go, what are you, doing, Gara? It's are you, something, doing treason or something like that. To be, confused and yeah. Gara would simply tell him to sort of watch, and he'd tell his brother and sister to watch as well, otherwise he'd may have to kill them for for being traitors. They would somewhat go up and they would, because the smoke would clear and it'd go, so that's, the fourth Kazekage, he has somewhat got wide-eyed as, of course, somewhat Shikamaru, not Shikamaru, Snake Sun in Orochimaru would, of course, shed the similarly fourth Kazekage skin and would fill, him. And yeah, he'd go, why dad? And Garo would then somewhat tell him and would kind of somewhat slightly crush, somewhat, put more pressure onto him, to which he'd go, Vince coming back to you and would tell him to have somewhat, somewhat retreat, or at the very least, fight the, sound people after, and yeah, would know, so he'd just tell, his men, you just shout out to the sand that that Orochimaru and in plus I'd impersonate the fourth Kazekage and to to destroy to somewhat wipe out these sound shinobi for their traitorous actions. Seemingly though, yeah, so it's kind of and then would start of course, as that would be, broadcasted over some, radio and that to all the sound, they would just stare, like that at the people they just came running in with from, slight, maybe, companionship if, how Konoha's going to be destroyed to just fuck you bastards for killing Kage and would charge and would start charging in at the sound and killing them. Yeah, of course, the kind of show would be somewhat confused, but and after realizing that they're now not being attacked by sand and just kind of sound with sound also being occupied with sand now, they'd start kind of sand and Konoha and then would start acting together to get rid of and kill the sound shinobi. And yeah, of course, someone does it would draw from there though. Garo just stated that he wasn't really going to be going nowhere, as it'd probably be best if he somewhat didn't. Naruto would just kind of, nod, saying that would be, a good idea to kind of stay here. And yeah, though from there should go up to the top, where, of course, a barrier had been sort of erected. And yeah, the Anbu would someone kind of look at her and would sort of simply ask, or at least would go, do you know any way to get in? And it'd go, well, maybe. And it's somewhat, there'd be, say, 4-person barrier. I can't remember what it was called or that, if they even named it. And yeah, the other function would somewhat reminder that it's that somewhat, his chakra was kind of somewhat corrosive. Should go, so that doesn't really well, in other words, they're just using normal chakra, and that is pretty much just a bar, sort of kind of chakra. It's not resistant to my chakra. If you put your hand up to it with my chakra somewhat wrapped around it and then push my chakra into the barrier, it should create a hole hopefully large enough for you or say a few nin to go through. Should go, you really think it works? Should go, well, there's only one chance right now. And isn't it worth trying, taking the chance at the very least? They would get chakra poisoning, and at the most, you'd open up a barrier and they would incinerate. Yeah, you'd shatter the barrier and they would all go up in flames, being incinerated. You'd have a point there. And so, someone should push the fox's chakra somewhat into the barrier and slowly, the armor would see, people in four corners would start similarly, concentrating more and would start seeing them similarly sweat, and they would then see, a small hole, and that hole slowly grow bigger and bigger and bigger in the barrier, with similarly a very obvious kind of hard reddish, somewhat line, similarly eating away, and they would realise it's Fox's chakra and that she was using it to open up the barrier enough, and eventually she'd somewhat open up her eyes and would go, "Oh, what are you doing? Get in there, say, do your damn job right." No one would kind of say, all of them kind of being just surprised at her, her being able to kind of use the Fox's chakra in this way, though they'd running and she'd running as well, and next thing she'd know, she'd snap open her eyes. Someone gasp as she'd somewhat kind of fling up somewhat from her bed, somewhat like gasping, breathing in, somewhat when she'd take her voice, "Well, there, Naruto, everything's okay." Yeah, she'd somewhat look around, where am I? She'd somewhat asked, confused voice. And as it go. Well, for one, as you can probably somewhat, or at least see once you once you wake up a bit more, we're in your sort of bedroom. And she'd rub her eyes, and once her eyes would kind of focus, she would realise, and she'd throw her eyebrows. How wasn't I just at the, well, it's been about a day since then. What a day? What happened? The last thing I remember is open up a hole in the barrier and running in. Well, you did that with the Fox's chakra. The armor told me that, and the other thing they said that you'd thought, you'd run in, once the armor kind of ran in, and you'd started somewhat helped the somewhat fired, kind of somewhat fighting alongside him and kind of helping him out, though eventually he ended up sacrificing his life to celebrate, or at least to try and celebrate Orochimaru, though he only managed to get his hands. And of course, someone as trying to continue, he'd be clenching his fists more and more and more, more. As, you just more and more pissed with Orochimaru and the fact, killed that sensei, Right though, and so at that scene, that you went ballistic. You shot off faster than I'd ever seen you go. You shot off so fast that I don't know what happened, but we all heard just a boom. Even where I was, what I hear is just or at least is just a somewhat the boom, like you shattered or broke something. The sound barrier, of course. And yeah, the somewhat would kind of state that you'd, or at least though, at hearing that and feeling the, or at least a more potent, raw, kind of tail-beast chakra coming from you, which I haven't felt ever until then. I rushed over and the thing I just see lit past my head is a Roachamaru. So as I just narrowly avoid somewhat to him, and whilst I wanted to somewhat kind of finish him off, I somewhat saw you were you were going somewhat after him, and the somewhat and well, I somewhat knocked you out. And I could see Sensei was just on the ground, lifeless, with a sword through him, and yeah, I knocked you out, and they kind of explained there what happened, and yeah, tears would well up in her eyes as she'd somewhat remember and his last words, and yeah, before she could even properly turn, Dry had somewhat put his arms around her, and she'd kind of put her arms around him as she'd just cry sort of into him, sort of remembering some of his last words and that, and yeah. And of course, some of the Ambu also sort of heard that as it was just, well, yeah, and there wasn't really nothing else for him to do, or at least really for them to do. And yeah. And so, yeah. Though, after a while, she'd finished some crying and dried, and she'd somewhat asked when the kind of funeral was, to which she'd tell her in about 2 days from now. She'd somewhat nod. And yeah, though, Dry would go, though, somewhat I'm going to ask you now, so me saying, I'm coming back to asking later, but I'm wondering if you'd like to kind of come with me and to, so after the funeral, of course, somewhat to kind of find our next Hokage. Sure, I kind of have to sort of leave the village. I kind of understand. I more than understand kind of why. So someone just kind of nod, and yeah, though he would then tell her that you may want to get dressed. Should blink was from that, he would somewhat pulled away once she'd just kind of stopped crying and that, and she'd somewhat look down, and she'd just somewhat go somewhat wide-eyed and she'd her hand would immediately, go shoot up across her chest, and Dry would sort of immediately back away, arms somewhat up, as he sort of knew he's now in pretty much somewhat danger territory. And yeah. And he'd go, now, I may be a pervert, but as I told you somewhat back that I only pervert on non-family members. So I just brought you here and pretty much made something later and got you naked and put you in bed. You can ask the fox, she'd tell you. And Naruto just somewhat narrow her eyes, though the fox would somewhat, of course, tell her, being somewhat awake all throughout the night, that he indeed did nothing, just stayed up all night with her, and so as she'd hear that, just as she was about to say that, he'd gone. Yeah, it wasn't that he wasn't going to try and take his time to that staying there, he just somewhat left, with somewhat just kind of saying that, well, yeah. She'd just sigh, though she'd somewhat had to have a quick shower before coming somewhat out and getting dressed. And with that, I'm going to end this part here, guys. So if you have enjoyed this, do tell me in the comments down below. And of course, if you want part 8, do say, as long as 3 views, comments, and it gets at least a minimum of 50 views, or at least once it does, I'll do part 8. And yeah, with that out of the way, I don't know why I said that. Hope you guys have a good day or night, depending on wherever you are and whenever you watch this, and a good bye.